you, Madam Chair. If we could do AB 2403 next.
AB 2403, would you like to begin?
Yes. Thank you. AB 2403 requires the Department of Healthcare Services to give notice to cities and counties within their jurisdiction regarding the application process of adult recovery or treatment programs for alcoholism and drug abuse. My staff and the sponsors are working with committee and council to address many of the fiscal concerns that have been outlined in the analysis. We're, for example, amending out the reference to county licensing agencies due to DHCS being the sole licensing agency for these facilities, and that will eliminate the state reimbursable mandate tag. We also are further clarifying that existing facilities are indeed grandfathered in and does not require a new integral facilities license. I would like to respectfully take issue with point 5 of the analysis, stating that challenges to the law will be a cost to the state. Any law that is currently subject to challenge, any law that we pass is currently subject to a challenge in some form or another, and I think it's neither fair or relevant to state that in the analysis of the bill without any indication in the analysis why this bill is more or less subject to litigation costs than any other bill. I do agree, however, that there will be costs to DHCS to report and license these facilities, and the cost would be upwards of $300,000. Thank you.
Thank you.
I vote.
Speakers in support?
Madam Chair and members, pleased to support one of Member Bloom's bills. My name is Kendra Harris with the League of Cities. We're pleased to sponsor this measure. This is an important measure for our member cities. We think it closes a loophole that we've seen in some of our communities where residential neighborhoods are turning into what some would categorize as hospital zones and not giving adequate care and treatment in a residential setting to those who need services. And so we think the amendments that we take, which should address many of the cost concerns today, and we ask for your I vote.
More speakers in support?
Kira Ross on behalf of the cities of Burbank, Glendale, and Sacramento, all in support of the bill.
Speakers in opposition?
Madam Chair, Mike Carroll with the Western Center on Law and Poverty. We continue to have concerns in opposition to this bill, both on policy grounds and also on fiscal grounds. We do believe that the long-term impacts of a policy such as this will reduce the availability of housing for those who are coming out of institutions of care that the state operates and funds, and it will keep them in those systems longer and raise downstream costs that the state can avoid by keeping this bill on suspense. Thank you.
Craig Brown for Cliffside, Malibu, in opposition. This state has undertaken a massive expansion of treatment through the Medi-Cal program. This bill constrains supply. When you constrain supply and have increased demand, costs will go up. For the privilege of having the costs go up in that program, we're going to ask healthcare services to spend a lot of money. We ask you to hold this bill.
Evelyn Abu Hassan with Disability Rights California, aligning our comments with Western Center on Law and Poverty in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Dawn Kapke, McHugh Kapke and Associates, in respectful opposition on behalf of the One Method Treatment Center. Thank you.
Thank you. Department of Finance.
No file, Madam Chair.
Would you like to close, Mr. Bloom?
Yes, there is certainly some controversy and disagreement about what this bill does or doesn't do. We're going to continue to work with the opposition to find the right solution to the issue that the bill identifies. I ask for your I vote.
I appreciate that. That's a suspense candidate. Would you like one more presentation?
I would. This one might take a couple of minutes longer. That would be AB 2844.
Let's do 2844.
2844.
I should know the number by now.
It's all even numbers. That's how I remember.
Go ahead and present.
All divisible by 2. Madam Chair, thank you. This is the California Combating Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions of Israel Act of 2016. The BDS movement, Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions movement, is a global effort to demonize and delegitimize the State of Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East. It's a stalwart ally of the United States and a critically important trading partner of the state of California, something that's very important in the context of this bill. The aim of the BDS movement is not to seek a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, or indeed, in the view of many, any peaceful solution. While some may assert that the main goal of BDS is to pressure Israel to change its policies towards and treatment of Palestinians, that is simply not the case. Questioning and criticizing policy is not the issue. We all do that all the time. Rather, the express and oft-stated goal of the BDS movement is to eliminate the State of Israel and replace it, not live side by side it, but replace it with a Palestinian state. This effort to destroy the Jewish homeland is not a new story to the Jewish people, and I think that this helps explain why Jews around the world and here at home are so concerned about the BDS movement. It's present here in California, throughout the United States, and around the world, and it is worth noting that the BDS movement has been particularly active on our college campuses, taking aim primarily and deliberately at young Jewish students and other supporters of Israel's right to exist, and negatively affecting campus climate. Responding to a resulting spike in anti-Semitism on campuses caused by the BDS movement, the regents of the University of California recently acted to refine UC policies to assure that all students can feel safe in their campus environment, and the regents specifically condemned anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic forms of anti-Zionism. Only 2 years ago, on March 5, 2014, Governor Brown and the Prime Minister of Israel signed a memorandum of understanding for strategic partnerships for joint innovation, exchanges, and cooperation between California and Israel. In July 2015, the legislature affirmed its support for the MOU by passing Senate Concurrent Resolution 25, noting that participants in the MOU had already expanded cooperation between Israel and California in areas of mutual concern and expertise. And these include alternative energy, agriculture, business innovation, technology, cybersecurity, and academia, and declaring that collaboration with Israel will foster peace and democracy in the Middle East. This MOU reflects the policy of the state of California to maintain a vibrant and robust partnership with the state of Israel. Similarly, reflecting this policy aim, legislation was introduced recently in Congress by Congressman Bob Dold of Illinois and our own former Assembly member and state senator and now Congressman Juan Vargas. And that legislation is called the Combating BDS Act of 2016, and it also reaffirms the strong bond between the United States and Israel. The BDS movement, however, by its very terms, aims to damage this partnership and injure the State of Israel by advocating that companies boycott Israel or that companies already doing business in Israel be boycotted, and this is where AB 2844 comes in. AB 2844 responds to this threat by simply providing that should companies choose to engage in a discriminatory boycott of the State of Israel, then the State of California will not do business with them. AB 2844 reflects proudly that the State of California stands with its partner and ally, the State of Israel, and that the goal of the BDS movement to eliminate the State of Israel finds no support here. Now, there will be an initial cost to the state, but we believe as time goes on and businesses learn the state's policy that those costs will decrease. Most ongoing costs would be towards investigating complaints against businesses and investigating fraud. There are some ways we can cut costs by removing duplicate processes performed by the Attorney General's Office and the Department of General Services. We're looking closely at that and will likely make that change to the bill. One final note about what AB 2844 does not do. It in no way violates any free speech rights, as the pro-BDS supporters often wrongly assert, and the bill was specifically amended in the Judiciary Committee to resolve that issue. And while we believe that the previous version of the bill that was before Judiciary would pass constitutional muster, suffice it to say that now there can be no doubt that with the amendments accepted, the First Amendment issue has been taken off the table and does not any longer disturb the intent of the bill as well. Thank you. I ask for your aye vote. I have with me this morning Dylan Hosier, representing the American Israeli community in California, and Dean Schramm, the president of the Los Angeles region of the American Jewish Committee.
We're going to ask for the speakers, both in support or opposition, to do 2 minutes each. 2 speakers, 2 minutes each, and then just name and organization. Thank you.
My name is Dean Schramm, and I'm the Los Angeles Regional President of the American Jewish Committee. AJC is one of the oldest and most significant Jewish organizations in the United States, with 22 offices in the U.S. and 10 offices overseas. I'd like to thank the committee for allowing me to say a few words in support of AB 2844. I want to begin by elaborating on something touched on by Assemblymember Bloom. AB 2844 is a critical piece of legislation because it will serve as a tool for students in particular to use to combat what we see as a substantial increase in anti-Semitism on UC college campuses. The significant rise in anti-Semitism referenced recently in the report of the working group of the UC regions has been caused by the BDS movement on campus. Pro-BDS supporters routinely attempt to pass boycott Israel resolutions which either directly or indirectly incite hate speech or actions against Jewish students or against those who simply disagree with the BDS agenda, Jewish or not. Students under attack can point to AB 2844 and say to those uninformed or subject to persuasion, look at what the state of California has done. The state of California will not do business with those companies which engage in a discriminatory boycott of the state of Israel. If the state of California is opposed to the goals of the BDS movement, so should you. AB 2844 provides the opportunity for California to stand up and speak out and say to the world, we stand with our partner and ally, the State of Israel. We will not tolerate anti-Semitism on our college campuses, in our state, or anywhere else. We oppose the aims of the BDS movement, and we will fight against it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. My name is Dylan Hosier, representing the Israeli American community. California is actually home to the largest Israeli community outside of Israel. And like any immigrant community, Israeli Americans seek to contribute positively to the diversity of the state while respecting their heritage and building bridges between California and Israel, their home country. We believe that Israeli Americans should be able to conduct business within the state and with partners from Israel, free from harassment and discrimination. The effort to delegitimize and discriminate against Israel, Israeli Americans here in California, or even those who simply choose to freely associate with Israel or Israelis, is well organized and prevalent in this state, unfortunately. Well-organized discrimination is certainly not a new phenomenon, and simply because this discrimination is well-organized does not mean that it is legitimate. And like many similar well-organized efforts to discriminate against minorities, those who seek the elimination of Israel mask their intentions behind a facade of legitimate political criticism. This bill is about one thing. It is not about foreign policy. It is not about an issue a world away. It is about preventing the state from subsidizing discrimination against a minority community. Israeli Americans are not nameless, faceless people only characterized by a complex foreign affairs issue. These are Californians. And we strongly urge your aye vote on 2844. Thank you.
Additional speakers in support.
Sylvia Solis on behalf of the City of Beverly Hills in support.
Madam Chair and members, Tracy Stevens on behalf of the Jewish Public Affairs Committee and the Museum of Tolerance in strong support.
Elisa Einhorn, Assistant Director of the Jewish Federation of the Sacramento region. I'd also like to point your attention to a letter distributed by the Sergeant dated May 8th by Senator Hillary Clinton, strongly opposing the BDS movement. We respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Sharon Rogoff, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Congregation B'nai Israel, we support.
Debbie Azer Brown, representing the Jewish community, and I strongly ask for your support.
Hello, Gail Rubin, attorney as a private citizen, native Californian. I respectfully ask for your yes vote. BDS is a coercive peace movement. We should not be forced to use California taxpayer dollars to fund discriminatory business practices in commerce.
Thank you.
Jason Bryan on behalf of Agdat Israel in support. Thank you.
Helene Mishar on behalf of the City of West Hollywood in support.
Don Gilbert on my own behalf in support.
Any more speakers in support? Okay, we're going to move to speakers in opposition. The same thing, 2 minutes.
Thank you. Speaking here,
may I have more than 2 minutes since I'm the only one here? No.
2 minutes per individual. Okay. 2 individuals max.
Different rules, different committees. Huh?
Yep.
All right. Very quickly, I'm David Mandel, a member of Jewish Voice for Peace, and also an Israeli American. Many of you heard from the 70 or so volunteers who came from all over the state yesterday to speak to you about this bill and why it would be a very bad bill. You can read in the committee analysis about the costs. I'll just point out that they only begin to cover the costs. The Attorney General estimated $1.2 million per year. That does not even include the costs of what will likely be complex litigation defending this unconstitutional bill when it is challenged in court. CalSTRS said initially $1 million and then $200,000 a year for its administrative needs in dealing with this bill. CalPERS didn't even weigh in, but since it's bigger, I imagine that would be even more. And it was also pointed out that by DGS that this would involve higher contract costs by all state and local authorities when bidders are excluded. All this is to establish a regime that, as noted in the Appropriations Committee analysis, would deny a benefit based on a company's engagement in discriminatory practices that are already prohibited by law. State contractors already need to certify that they don't discriminate. In other words, at very best, this bill is extremely expensive and superfluous because discrimination is already forbidden in state contracting. What the bill really is doing, however, is targeting a certain political movement, and it's not the boycott movement. Boycott is a tool. It's a tool, and I support boycott sometimes, not other times. And just like if you support the labor movement, strikes are a tool. You don't say, are you for? It's not a strike movement. You don't say, are you for or against strikes?
20 more seconds.
Okay. Boycotts have been a time-honored strategy that's been used throughout American history against slavery, for civil rights, in support of labor rights. You can agree or disagree that boycotts are a good idea, but they are a strategy that should not be forbidden, should not be punished, particularly when they're not discriminatory. And if they are discriminatory, they're already illegal. What this bill would do would be to single out certain
time's up. I'm sorry, sir.
Critics of a certain country for
Thank you. Your time is up.
Right.
Thank you. Any other speakers in opposition? Come on, you're the second speaker, so you again have 2 minutes, and after that, all we can do is your name and organization. So you have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Paula Rainey. I'm from Alameda, and I'm here also as a representative for Friends of Sabile of North America and Friends of Wadi Fukin. I want to just second my concerns that this bill would be a big hindrance to people, if only because, well, for many reasons. I've got the financial concerns, as were already discussed. But I believe it would put a really big chilling effect on the free speech of citizens who want to speak to this issue. And just for one example, a friend of mine who happens to be a neighbor in Alameda, he did not feel comfortable to come and speak to his representatives here. I don't know that he even made a phone call because he's so concerned that he would have his name on a list and would be prevented from visiting his family in Palestine. He's a Palestinian American. He's been in this country for more than 40 years. He's resided in Alameda, California for 30 years. But because of the chilling effect that this bill would have should it pass, he's just very concerned, and he's only one of many Arab Americans, particularly Palestinian Americans, that have this concern. So I'd like you to take that in consideration also. He's one of many. in your own constituencies. Thank you.
Thank you. Any additional speakers? Just your name, organization, if any, and your position.
Thank you. My name is Larry Raskin. I'm a former attorney with the California Attorney General's Office for over 25 years, including the supervising Deputy Attorney General of the False Claims Unit, where I retired from, which would be the unit responsible for investigating and prosecuting so-called violations. I'm also past president of Sacramento's only Jewish community day school, Shalom School, and past president at Temple Or Rishon, a Sacramento Jewish community. I'm here in my individual capacity. I strongly urge the committee to oppose AB 2844. In this country, we have a right to oppose.
That's great. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other speakers in opposition? Seeing none, Department of Finance.
No file, Madam Chair.
No discussion. It is a Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Wagner. Go ahead.
I do, and thank you. Let me begin by thanking the opponents who spent considerable time in my office yesterday, and we had a very civil discussion, and I very much appreciated hearing your perspective. An issue that came up there has to do not with the motivation of the current opponents of this bill, but of the BDS movement itself. And we've been handed a letter by a former Secretary of State, who I am generally not particularly sympathetic to, but who does say, in no uncertain terms, that out in the world, as opposed to here, the motivation of this movement is not as pure as current opponents would say. What is the answer to that? If she is correct, then I think this bill is doing a service, trying to strike a blow for freedom and tolerance. And that's kind of my perspective. Your answer, if you have one, to Secretary Clinton's letter.
I haven't seen that specific letter, but I've heard her speeches. I think there's a lot of misinformation about what's called the BDS movement. The movement that as we define it, we belong to, is a movement for justice, for peace, for liberation, for the human rights of Palestinians, which is the only way that we see to enable a lasting peace with justice for Palestinians and for Israelis alike. And again, I'm American Jew. I'm also an Israeli citizen. The American Jewish community is not united about this. We're divided. We have different points of view. In fact, our organization is among the fastest growing. So, as I tried to mention, boycotts and divestments are a tool. They are not the movement. And while I can't speak for everybody who advocates every boycott, the very loose network of people who are engaging in campaigns using those tools in order to oppose Israeli policies and to try to bring a better future make it very clear that they are not directed against the Israeli people, not against any individual rights, not against the state of Israel, but for human rights, for the right to end the occupation, to end discrimination against Palestinians in Israel, which is indisputably pervasive, and to enable Palestinians to achieve all their other rights, including rights to return to their homes if they were not from which they were expelled and they're not being allowed to return. It's not to undermine any country. It's not anti-Semitic. People who everybody I know and everything I read who is engaged in this central movement for justice makes it very clear that the aim is not against Jews or against Israelis for that matter, but for justice. There's absolutely no evidence that divestment campaigns at UC campuses, for instance, are responsible for any of the anti-Semitic, the occasional anti-Semitic things that happen there, and they do happen. But the problem is that when you identify virtually every criticism of Israeli policies as anti-Semitic, then anti-Semitism is everywhere, and that makes it harder to actually oppose and challenge the real outbreaks of anti-Semitic and other bigotry when they do occur, because you need to make a distinction between anti-Semitism and criticism of a country's politics. Thank you.
Okay, any additional questions? We're going to keep to fiscal policy. If there are any I'm sorry, because this has really gotten off of the fiscal aspect of this bill. That is why it is a candidate for suspense. Seeing no more questions, Mr. Bloom, would you like to close on the fiscal issues?
Thank you. Thank you for your indulgence, Madam Chair. I ask for your aye vote, and we will continue to work on addressing the fiscal issues. We know that we can make some amendments that will bring the cost down at least a little bit, and ultimately we will ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, and thank you for spending your time coming up and speaking as well. That is it for you, Mr. Bloom. I'm going to have Mr. Calderon now, who has two bills. AB 2320, we're going to start with that. It enjoys the due pass recommendation. We have a motion by Mr. Holden, a second by Mr. Bigelow.
It's a great drone bill. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Any speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance?
No file, Madam Chair.
I'm assuming we're in support, so we're good. Would you like to close, Mr. Calderon?
Thank you for your time.
That gets out on an A roll call with Mr. Bloom not voting. Moving on to AB 2546, it also enjoys a due pass recommendation. Mr. Holden moves a bill. Mr. Holden moves a bill. I will second it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Financial literacy, it's a great thing, good tool we need in our schools. Please vote yes.
They need to worry. Speakers in support.
Madam Chair and members, Courtney Jensen, the California Credit Union League, in support, and we thank the author for his leadership on this issue.
Madam Chair, members, good morning. Oliver Rockroy with the Association of California Life and Health Insurance Companies. We ask people to make complicated financial decisions every day when they purchase a car, purchase a home, finance a loan, use a credit card, appear before the Appropriations Committee, purchase insurance, or plan for their financial future. We think this is a great tool and certainly advocate for additional educational tools for people to navigate those financial waters. Thank you very much.
Before we go to speakers in support, I missed somebody who wanted to register their opposition to your pass bill. After this is done, we'll bring them up just so they can register their opposition. I'm sorry about that. Continuing with speakers in support of this provision.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dawn Kepke, McHugh Kepke and Associates, on behalf of the National Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors of California, in strong support.
Thank you. Any speakers in opposition? Seeing none. Department of Finance?
No file, Madam Chair.
I think we have one question or comment by Mr. Gallagher.
Yeah, so I'm supportive of this bill and definitely of financial literacy. I think that's a huge thing that we can give our kids, is give them that education, especially when they go out into the world, make better decisions about credit cards, all those kinds of things, right? Is there, in the analysis, some of the stuff that was raised, is there possibly an unnecessary cost here in that the curriculum, I'm forgetting the name of the organization that helps establish curriculum, is already looking into incorporating financial literacy, and now we're sort of giving them a statute the next year saying, okay, but this is how we want you to do it.
Right now, so the organization you're talking about is the Instructional Quality Commission, and so the IOC. And right now, there are other bills that are saying we'll consider it in terms of right now financial literacy. So right now they've just worked on a curriculum that they're going to ratify real soon. And so right now they've incorporated a financial literacy class within just the senior year of the high school year. This bill says, well, K through 12, when you come back, which isn't going to be for another 8 years, but when you come back, you have to incorporate, we need more courses. And so K through 12, 2 courses, middle school, 2 courses, high school, 2 courses on financial literacy, because there needs to be continued reinforcement of financial literacy issues. It needs to be more comprehensive, absolutely.
Great. We have a motion and a second. Would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
That gets out on an A roll call with Mr. Bigelow, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Wagner voting no. I would like to bring back up, there was somebody who wanted to register opposition to AB 2320. Is that person still here? And I'm sorry, it's already been out, but we'll go ahead and note the opposition.
So I believe there are actually 2 of us. Michael Pimentel here on behalf of the California State Association of Counties Excess Insurance Authority in opposition to AB 2320. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, committee. Danielle Kando Kaiser on behalf of the Electronic Frontier Foundation. We remain opposed to the bill. We have submitted amendments and look forward to working with the author's office.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, Helene Mishar on behalf of the City of West Hollywood. We appreciate the removal of the preemption on it, but still have some ongoing concerns about the remainder of the bill, and we'll be working with the author on it. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sorry about that. We try to move fast in this committee. That concludes your bills, Mr. Calderon. I'm going to bring up Mr. Bonta, who's going to present on behalf of Mr. Jones Sawyer. This is AB 2385. It enjoys a due pass as amended to clarify determination by a state licensing authority that an entity complies with specified Measure D criteria established by the initiative in the City of Los Angeles is based on a notification by the city to state licensing authorities that the applicant has met the criteria. Very complicated amendment, but I understand it's being taken. So with that, Mr. Bonta.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members. Thank you. On behalf of Assemblymember Jones Sawyer, I want to just relay Mr. Jones Sawyer's appreciation for the staff's and the chair's help on this bill. He's happy to accept the chair's and the committee's suggested amendments. This addresses an issue with respect to how Measure D in Los Angeles interacts with the Medical Marijuana Regulation and Safety Act that we passed last year. The bill's fiscal impact to the state is minor and absorbable. I have Sam Rodriguez with UCW with me and Marvin Pineda on behalf of the United Cannabis Business Alliance Trade Association if you have any questions. Respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mr. Quirk and a second by Mr. Holden. Mr. Rodriguez.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, we just want to recognize and appreciate your efforts, the efforts of Mr. Wood, Mr. Jones Sawyer, and Mr. Bonta. We respectfully ask for an aye vote.
I echo Sam's comments. Marvin Pineda on behalf of the United Cannabis Business Alliance. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance.
No file, Madam Chair.
Great. All right. Would you like to close?
Thank you for your consideration. Respectfully ask for your aye vote, members.
Thank you. This bill passes with Republicans not voting, Mr. Bigelow voting no, Mr. Obernolte voting no, and Ms. Chang voting aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, colleagues, and staff.
Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden, looks like, are you going to waive presentation on your suspense candidates? So you are going to start with AB 2148. It enjoys a due pass with clarifying amendments. When you're ready.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. I'm presenting Assembly Bill 2148 to provide clear, standardized set of regulations for the use of drones on lands controlled by the Department of Fish and Wildlife and the Department of Parks and Recreation. I accept the proposed technical amendments. These amendments remove the drone industry's opposition, reduce federal preemption concerns, and better align this bill to existing federal law governing drone use in our national parks. This measure is designed to fill in the gaps.
We have a motion by Mr. Quirk and a second by Mr. Calderon.
Thank you, members. Fill in the gaps in federal law to ensure the protection of the wildlife, birds, visitors, and historic resources that live and use our state's open spaces. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Speakers in support.
Madam Chairwoman and members, Mark Smith on behalf of the sponsors of the bill, Audubon, California, here in support. Thank you.
Kelly Dunn on behalf of California League Conservation Voters in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any speakers in opposition? Department of Finance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Fish and Wildlife and the Parks and Recreation both indicate this bill will have no fiscal impact. The mandate created by this bill is not reimbursable because the bill creates or eliminates a crime or changes the penalty or crime or infraction. Thank you.
Mr. Holden, would you like to close?
I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
This gets out on a B roll call with Ms. Chang voting aye. Next up is AB 2442. It enjoys a due pass recommendation.
Move the bill.
A motion by Mr. Calderon.
Second.
Second by Mr. Quirk.
Thank you, Madam Chair and Committee. 2442 allows a multiple density bonus to be obtained by a housing developer if the developer agrees to set aside 10% of the units for former foster youth, disabled veterans, and or formerly homeless individuals. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Any speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance.
No file, Madam Chair.
All right, Mr. Holden, would you like to close?
I respectfully ask for a vote.
This bill passes with the Republicans not voting and Mr. Bigelow and Mr. Obernolte voting no. Thank you, Mr. Holden. Mr. Bigelow is up next. Oh, yes. Thank you. Mr. Bigelow is presenting for Senator Runner. It enjoys a due pass recommendation. A motion by Mr. Wagner, a second by Mr. Holden. Mr. Bigelow.
Thank you, Madam Chairman and members. Ms. Runner expresses her sincere regrets for not being here, but she is very ill today and asked me to present. Having heard a motion and a second and the recommendation, I will yield the time and ask humbly for an aye vote.
Are there any speakers in support? Speakers in opposition? Department of Finance.
No file, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Bigelow. I'll assume you have no close if there's no questions. That gets out on an A roll call vote. Thank you. And that concludes the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Mr. Hernandez could not make it, so his bills will be put over till next week. Oh, I'm sorry. We do have consent and suspense. I was just trying to rush us out of here. Madam Secretary, we have a motion on consent from Mr. Wood, a second by Mr. Quirk. And we're going to read out the consent roll.
AB 1666 Bro, 1675 Stone with amendments, 1708 Gonzalez, 1767 Bigelow, 1788 Melendez, 1789 Santiago, 1835 Holden, 1859 Gallagher, 1979 Bigelow, 2032 Linder, 2056 Eduardo Garcia, 2061 Waldron, 2072 Chang, 2078 Kim, 2097 Melendez, 2102 Hernandez, 2221 Christina Garcia, 2226 Bigelow, 2263 Baker, 2375 Purge Committee, 2430 Beth Gaines, 2450 Asajian, 2497 Wagner, 2498 Bonta, 2535 Ridley Thomas, 2549 Water Parks Committee, 2556 Nazarian, 2611 Lowe, 2672 Bonilla, 2707 Ridley Thomas, 2719 Eduardo Garcia, 2797 Chu, 2801 Gallagher, 2901 Jobs Committee, 2906 Transportation Committee, ACR 157 Hadley, 159 Salas, 163 Atkins, and 165 Bigelow.
That was a motion by Mr. Wood, a second by Mr. Quirk, and it gets out on an A roll call. We are now going to read the bills that have moved to the suspense file.
1550, 1575, 1595, 1648, 1657, 1677, 1697, 1710, 1711, 1751, 1760, 1762, 1764, 1800, 1815, 1826, 1833, 1846, 1851, 1873, 1879, 1888, 1899, 1942, 1961, 1978, 1984, 1989, 2000, 2027, 2058, 2066, 2099, 2146, 2149, 2197, 2199, 2202, 2207, 2223, 2243, 2255, 2292, 2308, 2314, 2319, 2321, 2323, 2343, 2348, 2353, 2403, 2408, 2410, 2415, 2424, 2475, 2476, 2480, 2525, 2530, 2564, 2569, 2576, 2579, 2586, 2617, 2629, 2642, 2652, 2653, 2656, 2664, 2681, 2692, 2697, 2702, 2706, 2713, 2730, 2749, 2751, 2777, 2785, 2786, 2812, 2821, 2844, 2855, 2873, 2895, and 2000, and 2900.
This concludes the business before the committee today. Committee is adjourned.